Who is your favorite superhero? Clearly, mine is Spider-Man. Ever since I was a kid, I wasn't too heavy in the comic book scene, but as an adolescent, for a brief season, I was collecting comic books, and Spider-Man was my favorite superhero. And I think the reason why is because I could identify and relate to him more. Because he was a young kid, I obviously was a child, and it wasn't too far fetched. He's just a normal kid who got bit by some radioactive spider. So yeah, I was definitely a Spider-Man fanatic at one point. Collected the comic books as well as watched the cartoon, and I'm sure you probably did as well. But you know what? A reality is in life that everybody is attracted to superheroes, and not just children. Even grown adults. So I ask you today just to think right now at the beginning of this video, who is your modern day hero? I'm not talking about fantasy. I'm talking about in your world, in your life. And for me personally, that would definitely be Pastor Tommy. So shout out to Pastor Tommy, aka Urban D, Crossover Church 813. What up to all the Crossover fam? And I met Pastor Tommy when I got out of prison my second time. I think I was 22, 23. And I never forget my first experience going to Crossover Church in Tampa, Florida. And just seeing the vibe and how laid back it was. And I think Pastor Tommy might have had on like a snapback while he was preaching. And just, majority of the congregation, and not just, young, it was diverse when it comes to nationalities and age. But for the most part, I went to the Sunday Night Vibe. It's a late night service. And I've seen a lot of people who are in my age group, or people I could, just tell by their demeanor and their dress code, I could relate and identify with. And of course, they got me with the hip hop during the worship. But the whole point that I'm getting at is I never forget the first impression that, Pastor Tommy, gave me, not just of his swag and his drip while he was preaching, and him just being authentically him and still ministering the gospel without, adapting or conforming to that cookie cutter image Christian view, that sometimes America evangelicalism can adopt, subconsciously. But I think it was after the service, really what hit me the most was I seen this Pastor Tommy just lamping in the lounge. And he was intentional. I was sitting back watching him. I really didn't even know nobody at the congregation. I just went there because my friend referred me there. And I just seen Pastor Tommy just smiling, just sitting back and just embracing and rejoicing with the fellowship that he was seeing, his congregation be active in. And he was intentional just to pull up on different crowds and groups of people and dap people up, and he knew everybody's name for the people he knew, and if he didn't know them, he's introducing himself and getting to know everybody and just chopping up, clowning, just being real. And he pulled up on me, and every time I came to service after that, after he first met me and asked me my name, where I'm from, he kind of find out a little about me, and he was just being genuine. Every time I came back, man, he intentionally pulled up on me. He remembered my name, and he was asking or following up with me how I'm doing. And if you know my story, and if you don't, stay tuned and follow it. I went back to prison, and for 7 years and some change, man, Pastor Tommy held it down for me. Consistently, throughout my bid, he would write to me and encourage me. I know he's praying for me. He sent me books, soul mags. He was just there for me. And he was discipling me with the brief opportunity that he had, even through mail correspondence. So that's my hero. That's my modern day hero. So this is the Share Your Hero Challenge. I want to hear from y'all. Who is y'all's hero in your world, in your life, that's impacted your life? And not only just honor them and celebrate them and share them with one another and how they impacted each other and how they impacted us, but just follow their example and realize that you and myself, that we too, we can be somebody else's hero. So making a difference, and grind for the king. Whoa.